G'day Jafffa Adventures, Terry and Jill here. Well, we're sitting on the Calypso Star Charters boat, heading out for a 3-hour steam to Neptune Island to cage dive with some sharks. This is where our trip truly starts. Can't wait to get out there. We're just steaming out now. And look at the sunrise we've got. The charter company provided a hot breakfast on our way out, and we just sat and enjoyed the cruise. Unfortunately, one poor soul got sick within the first hour and never recovered for the entire day. As we got close to the Neptune Islands, the crew prepped the cage for the dive. They set up the breathing regulators, 8 in total, and rigged the crane and cage ready to lift our little box of safety into the water. Well, we made it out to the Neptune Islands, hon. What's next?
Burley.
Burley. We gotta get the sharks out here. I got the regulators in the cage. The crane's out and deployed, ready to lift the cage in the water. And there's the Neptune Islands.
Underwater we use these second stage regulators. So what we'll do in a minute, we'll get 8 people ready at a time, and what you have is a big wetsuit on. That's going to keep you warm. It'll also make you float. Think of your weight vest that'll cut to the bottom of the cage, mask so you can see what you're doing. Then we bring you one at a time down onto the marlin board, which is where the cage is sitting at the moment. With our help, just get you to walk up to the cage, grab hold of the handle, turn around and go down the ladder. Keep going down the ladder until the sea level comes right up to your chest. And then we'll pass you one of these regulators. We will wash these and disinfect them. So what you need to do is give it a good rinse in the water behind you. Press the back of it here, blow a bit of air through it, clear any moisture out of the way. Pop it out and take big slow deep breaths. Keep 2 feet on the ladder rungs. Lean back, look at your feet, blow a few bubbles. Just get used to breathing with your face in the water. Then when you feel comfortable, few steps down to the bottom of the cage. When you're coming back out, you come up the ladder here, put your regulator back in the little rack, and you wait for us to help you, but you come onto the marlin board, back onto these mats in here where we can help you off with your weight vest, and you'll be able to move around nice and easily again. If you do want us during the dive, the sea level's here, so you just come up and talk to us. We're going to be watching you the whole time. When we watch you, what you're going to hear is a couple of big loud taps, and it'll sound like this. Hear that noise, that means come up and see what we want. That's the signal we give when we swap over the dive groups, but also if something has happened to your air supply, if you've got your camera or any other reason we might want you, it's a couple of big loud taps. Everybody understand all that? They're great whites, they're a protected species. Now we've got a licence to burley and interact with them like we're going to do here today. There's lots of rules and regulations that go along with that, obviously. The main thing you guys have to worry about is not touching and interfering with them. The main thing we have to worry about is not intentionally feeding them, so we'll be putting a mixture of tuna guts and gills in the water. We'll get a nice smell going. Hopefully a shark will smell that and come into the boat. We'll also have some tuna tied under a bit of natural fibre string under a float out behind the boat. When a shark goes to eat that, what we do is we pull that in. Hopefully he swims in nice and close to the cage and you get a good look at him. Now, if he does eat the bait, or if he bangs into the cage, what we do is we stop for 15 minutes, we let everything settle down, then we put our baits back. So what's handy for us is you guys up the top here, if you can sort of call out left or right when you see a shark and tell us which direction it's swimming, and we all get involved in working together, and yeah, it's all a bit of fun too. It's good fun watching from the top as well as in the water.
Yeah.
Who's in group 1? Yeah, so if you guys are going to come down, we're going to suit up, okay?
Righto.
I am. Thank you, sir.
There were 2 things that really stood out to us while we were down there. Firstly, how much of a foreigner in a foreign land we really were. We had wetsuits to keep the hypothermia at bay. We had weights to balance our buoyancy. We had breathing regulators to keep us conscious. And we had our little cage of safety to help keep us alive. All this just so that we could visit their realm. The second thing that stood out was the dimensionality of their world. For the most part, we live our lives on one plane, the horizontal. They live their lives in every plane. They traverse the X, Y, and Z axis with ease and grace. This really became apparent when watching for sharks. We tend to look on the X. These guys can sneak up behind you, below you, above you, and at an angle to you, and grab you without you ever seeing them coming. It truly is a different world down there. I thought there were two different sharks, but apparently there were three.
I think there was three.
Yeah.
Three look different than each other.
So they throw a little bit of burley to attract everything.
Big hunk of tuna.
And then a big hunk of tuna to lure them in, and then they pull the tuna out before the shark gets it, because they can't feed them apparently.
8 people max. We have 8 groups, but there's not 8 in every group.
Yeah, there's about 45, I think, on board today.
44.
44?
That are diving.
That are diving, plus the crew.
Yep.
Yep. That's cool. I had a wonderful time.
Yeah, that's great.
So I think the agenda now is I think they're up to group 2 or 3 now. When all 5 are done, they're probably going to serve lunch, and we're probably going to motor back in, I think.
Okay, that was very cool. I can't wait to see the GoPro footage.
Yeah, me too. Broke down. We were meant to leave, I don't know, an hour ago, I guess, probably.
It's 3 hours for another boat to come out to us. And then still 3 hours to go.
If they're even going to do that.
Yeah, I don't know. The skipper's on the phone with somebody.
Trying to diagnose the problem, suss it out, whatever.
Make a plan. They haven't communicated anything.
No, they haven't. Yeah, well. Just have to roll with it. Well, how long have we been sitting here now, hun? Should be 3 hours?
Oh yeah, over 3 hours.
Over 3 hours we've been sitting here, and here's our rescue boat coming.
Our journey has lasted 12 and a half hours from pickup this morning.
We're not sure whether they're going to transfer us onto the fixed boat or tow this boat. If they're going to tow this boat, it's going to be a long ride back. Hopefully they brought more beer. Tonight we'll have to suss out whether our seal thing is on for tomorrow or not. Because
I'll be down a boat.
I'll be down a boat, yeah. Oh, he just fired it up. It's running.
Yeah, it's running.
So they flattened the batteries trying to get it going. They've run the Gen E, charged the batteries back up. They've just started this boat up as our rescue boat arrives. So I don't know whether this thing is actually running good or whether it's still sick. We'll see. How ironic. Don't tell them we're idling.
I've got a bridle here and a tow rope. It's just started now. I fixed the wire on the charger. Might be alright. Running. If something goes wrong, we're going to have to raft up straight away before we get there. We're going to raft up while we pull the anchor.
So I don't know whether you heard that or not, but we got the vehicle. We got the boat running now. He's unsure as to whether it is running sufficiently to get us back. They're going to raft up that boat. They're going to pull the anchor up on this boat and get it going because we don't want to slam into those rocks when the anchor gets pulled up. So that's the danger. As soon as the anchor's up, we need the engine to be running properly so that we can steer away from the rocks. Captain just ran up the ladder. I think he's going to put her in gear. And we'll see whether we got some forward motion here. They've undone the ropes and we're going to be heading out under our own steam shortly. And we're underway. Hallelujah! Homeward bound. We got back safe and sound, albeit 7 hours or so later than we were expecting. The whole engine episode did not make sense to me. You see, over the 3 hours the captain was trying to fix the issue, he fired the boat up numerous times. Each time it ran like crap and then stalled. It's a diesel, so I was thinking it was a mechanical issue since it does not need power to ignite the fire in the combustion chamber once you get it going. I bumped into the captain the following day on our Sea Lion cruise and asked him exactly what the issue was, and he explained it to me. There was a small wire that excited the relay for the charging system, and it had a poor contact in its connector. When we steamed out, it was intermittently charging the batteries, enough to keep us going. After sitting the entire day, we drew on those batteries for things like the bilge pump, lights, breathing gear, fridges. You get the idea. It pulled the voltage down from 48 volts to below 30 volts. This was enough juice to crank us over a few times, but not enough for the ECU to manage the fuel system. That's why it was running like a bucket of shit and then stalled, low voltage, to the ECU. He continued to try and fix the issue until there was not enough juice left in the batteries to even crank over the engine. We were dead in the water, literally. While the generators charged the batteries back up during the 3 hours it took our rescue boat to get to us, the captain found and fixed the problem. When the second boat was about 500 meters away, he fired our boat up and it sat and idled like it should. The second boat escorted us back just in case we had any more issues. We did not. After a very short night, we were back up and on our next boat for the 1.5 hour steam to the Sea Lion resting areas where we were going to jump into the water with them. Our first stop was Grindle Island, which was a bust. No critters. Our second stop was Hopkins Island, where we hit pay dirt.
We're only allowed to park here for an hour and a half. Your swim time is up to 60 minutes. Guys, when you're swimming around with the sea lions, please don't swim at them, just swim around them. If you're going to swim at them, they'll probably want to take you out to sea, and there's all sorts of goodies out there. So if the crew will tell you to come back, just come back, guys. So stay 30 metres away from the rocks for us, please. Don't go standing on the island, please. We're not allowed to go on there. This is a haul out zone. It's where they come to rest. The mums leave their pups here and they go out fishing and come back, and the pups swim around here and they teach themselves how to fish and all sorts of stuff. Alright, well, if you need help, please do the sign language, a bit of this or a bit of this or whatever. If you need Duke's attention, if you don't want to wear your flippers, just chuck them on the boat. If you get too cold, you're allowed to come back and have a hot shower. Right.
You ready, Hud? Okay. Okay, let's go fight the critters. Our first dive, we found seaweed, water, sand, a small pod of dolphins, and my inner beauty. Our second dive, however, was to prove much more fruitful. Check this out. After what was a wonderful few days in Port Lincoln, it was time to leave and explore the four-wheel drive tracks around the area. You want to see what was to be the start of a mind-blowing epic drive? Tune in next episode. You won't want to miss a single minute. Keep the shiny side up, everyone. Bye now.